Hey, George.
Hey, Nick.
Sorry to interrupt this episode of Reslayer's Take, but we have to tell the people about ButcherBox.
Oh, yeah. Listen, friends, we only do ads for sponsors we think are great, and ButcherBox is on our good list.
ButcherBox sent us each a customized box of high-quality meat, and they were so freaking good. It's so convenient having a box of incredible meat in your freezer without ever having to step foot in a grocery store.
And the greatest part? This antibiotic-free and humanely raised meat comes with plenty of curated tips and recipes. So whipping up awesome dinners is a cinch.
These prices are impossible to beat for the quality, and where the heck else can you get free protein for a whole dang year? Not the grocery store. So sign up at butcherbox.com/reslayer and get our special deal.
ButcherBox is offering our listeners a free for a year offer plus an additional $20 off. Choose chicken breast, salmon, or ground beef free in every order for a year. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/reslayer and use code RESLAYER to choose your free for a year offer, plus $20 off your first order.
Let's get grilling.
Bada, bada boom, sold.
Huh?
Just sold my car on Carvana. Dropping it off and getting paid today.
Already?
What, you still haven't sold yours? You told me about it months ago.
Is
the offer good?
Oh, the offer's great.
Don't have another car yet?
I could trade it in for this car I love.
Come on, what are we waiting for?
You're right.
Let's go.
Whether you're looking to sell your car right now or just whenever feels right, go to Carvana.com and sell your car the convenient way. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to the Reslayer's Take. I'm George Primavera.
And I'm Nick Williams. In this podcast, George and I lead a group of players through an exciting improvised adventure in Exandria, the magical world of Critical Role.
We're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, but you won't need to know the rules to follow along. All you need to know is that nothing the players do is scripted or planned, and their fates are determined by their own cleverness and the random chance of rolling a 20-sided die.
You can listen to new episodes of the Reslayer's Take every Monday, anywhere you stream podcasts.
Or if you want to listen to the podcast 2 weeks early and uninterrupted by ads, join Beacon at beacon.tv.
Last but certainly not least, if you're enjoying the story, please consider leaving a rating and review. Your feedback might inspire someone new to join this adventure.
Now, without further ado,
welcome to the Reslayer's Take.
The Reslayer's Take, minus Poogs, but accompanied by their new friend Norbert Klott, sit around a small bonfire, 50 feet from the entrance of the mountain cave. The treacherous Ügelberg has been successfully scaled. Hira's dangling horn has been reaffixed with one of her decorative ribbons. Spending their hit dice during a short rest, all of the Reslayers have restored themselves to full hit points, except for Hira. She sits at 39 points of health. The pulsing green light of the spectral barrier that blocks the entrance to the cave casts an eerie glow over the party. The middle of it separating a bit to reveal a thick cloud of yellow gas. Before your eyes, a massive cloud of yellow belches out of the mouth of the cave, moving upward to join the noxious, jaundiced cloud layer above.
Timpani, do you think maybe you could glue my horn back on or something?
I'm way ahead of you. Timpani reaches into one of his side pockets and pulls out a big gloopy hand of sap. He respectfully takes the broken end of the horn, slaps a bunch of tree sap on it, and attempts to stick it back on in the right position before setting it with a thin green vine that he ties at the end. And as he does, he casts Cure Wounds at first level.
Hira recovers 12 points of health, bringing her to her full total of 45.
And here we go, a little bit of sap, and that ought to do it. It's definitely not a permanent fix, but it ought to do the trick for now.
Hira examines her reflection in Frog's shiny metal frame.
Frog, I don't know if it's just the reflection, but does this look, maybe a little crooked to you?
Oh, let me show you real quick.
Frog pulls out her journal and quickly draws exactly what she sees, showcasing the crooked nature of the reattached horn.
Like this.
Farah walks up and slaps Hira in the back.
Great, you're back to normal. Let's go.
Norbert has set up a little station around himself. The daggers are ceremoniously placed around him as he continues a round of stretching.
Oh, yes. Just keeping limber. Oh, look, you're as good as new.
If one more person says that to me, someone here will be thrown off the mountain.
Her eyes stay fixed on Timpani.
Hey, I said it was temporary.
This looks like one of my baby teeth when it was about to fall out.
My healing abilities really don't extend to aesthetics. It's really more of a macro thing than the details. You know what I mean?
So you're saying it's broken for good?
Well, I don't mean that necessarily. I just mean that I personally can't fix it for good.
I will not rest until everything in this mountain has suffered.
You can't blame the cave fishers for just trying to get a good meal. I mean, who among us doesn't get a little hangry every now and then?
Hera sucks her teeth, moving closer to Timpani, and says,
Timpani, I'm going to find out which one of those creatures flung that rock on me. I am going to season it, truss it, slow roast it, and feast upon its flesh.
Like I said, everybody gets hangry now and again.
All right, here, why don't we, after all of this, go back to Zella and maybe he can zhuzh up your horn.
Hera breathes, trying to calm herself down, and stepping away from Timpani says,
Thank you, Farah. You always have my back. It's not a bad idea.
Farah, roll a deception check.
Natural 1.
Hera, Farah seems deeply, outwardly guilty.
Farah,
You
you seem like you're sweating a little bit.
It's hot in here.
It is not.
We're outside.
Should I stop the bonfire?
Yes, please. It's very... I run hot.
No, you don't. You always talk about how your joints ache in the cold.
Okay, here's the thing.
Another massive yellow cloud belches out of the cave entrance.
I don't think we have time to talk about this.
You're probably right. We should get into that cave.
I had no idea the cave was farting like this.
Yeah, something must be deeply afoot in the bowels of Ügelberg.
So gassy.
Because I'm not made of organic material, and I can't really smell things, maybe it will be safe for me to pass through this fog cloud and not be affected by it, like the paladins were.
And sorry if this is disrespectful, but do you breathe air?
No.
Oh, maybe this is the key. I say we send Frog in. Unfortunately, I am made of organic material.
I don't feel good about you going in there by yourself.
I'll come with you.
Well, before anyone risks their lives, I feel like we should just see if our weapons are gonna let us in.
Our weapons?
Yes.
They have special power?
Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't even know.
And he'll look at his own great axe.
It is completely ordinary.
Yeah, you'll see. Farah pulls out her crossbow and approaches the dome slowly.
As the spectral bolt forms in the chamber, due to the proximity of the spectral material, an opening begins to blossom in the center.
See, no one has to risk their lives again.
But I think the scary thing about this dome is that it holds the smoke cloud.
I feel like we've been breathing this stuff in ever since we got here.
Oh, you're right. Maybe it's not the cloud itself that's affecting the paladins and the people here. I guess it could be further inside.
Whatever had affected the paladins was after they had already gone into the cave of Ügelberg.
Oh, so there could be something even scarier in there.
Most definitely.
Well, if that's the case, I really don't want you to go in by yourself.
Okay, then maybe we should all join hands and walk in together.
Sounds good.
Let's do it. Timpani holds out his hands on both sides.
Frog quickly grabs one of them.
Norbert stands directly next to Frog, and the height distance is stark. And he'll grab her hand and put out another one.
I need both hands for my crossbow, so,
Perhaps we could take inspiration from your friend Poogs. We could tie a rope around each other. Stay connected.
We cut to Poogs down in the bottom of Seedfeld, who is tied to 5 disoriented Mega Magic Paladins chasing a bunch of Wind Gibbons.
Hey, give me that back! Give me that back!
One Wind Gibbon holds his spectral beads aloft.
Not funny!
Yeah, what would Poogs do in a situation like this? I think he'd hold hands.
Farah pretends like she didn't hear any of them and walks on ahead.
Farah disappears into the cloudy mist.
Oh, she's so confident.
Timpani waggles his hand. Hera?
Hira is not there.
A little bit of mist moves as Hira disappears within it.
Wow, so brave.
I guess we're bringing up the rear.
And the rest of the Reslayers disappear within the mist. Everyone make a Constitution saving throw.
8.
15.
14.
10.
18.
Now, Hira, Norbert, and Frog make an athletics check.
16.
Nat 20.
5.
Timpani, Farah, make an athletics check or an acrobatics check at disadvantage.
15.
Natural 1.
Now, everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
16.
24.
8.
8.
23.
And now everybody make a charisma saving throw with disadvantage.
6.
9.
15.
5.
14.
Everyone opens their eyes. Hira, Farah, Frog, Timpani, and Norbert stand at the cave entrance, the glowing barrier parting slightly as their ghostly weapons enter the proximal range of the spectral membrane.
All right, should we hold hands?
Maybe we should tie a rope against each other. Wait a second, I'm getting deja vu.
I was gonna say, did we dream this?
Everybody make a medicine check.
18.
18.
16.
2.
27.
All of you look down and around at each other and realize you have all taken damage. Farah, you have taken 8 poison damage and 14 bludgeoning damage. Hira, you have simply taken 4 poison damage. Norbert, you have taken 4 poison damage and 5 piercing damage as you realize there are some puncture wounds in your side.
Ow!
Frog, you have taken 4 poison damage, halved to 2 because of your natural resistance, and 6 bludgeoning damage. And Timpani has taken 8 poison damage and 5 piercing damage. Farah is brought to 30 points of health, Hira is brought to 41, Norbert is at 56, Frog at 48, and Timpani at 89.
Farah tries to understand what just happened.
Farah, roll an Arcana check with advantage.
23.
Farah, you are unable to remember anything from your time within the mist. Only the barest hint of a memory of you walking within it is accessible to you. This is clearly some kind of magical effect. You are also covered in a dusting of a yellow pollen-like substance.
Farah turns to the group. There's something clearly magical here that's wiping our memories, maybe dropping us back into the entrance of this cave.
Hira examines the contusions apparent on Farah's body.
Roll an investigation check.
15.
It looks as though Farah has taken quite a large fall, at least 20 feet.
Gingerly tracing the outline of the bruise, Hira says, Farah, this is not from an attack. This looks like you've fallen.
There are also these puncture wounds that I have, and I feel a bit icky.
Timpani walks over and inspects the puncture wounds.
As you look up and down Norbert's form, you find a wicked-looking black dart with a needle-sharp point sticking out of his buttocks.
Who put that there?
Timpani plucks it out. Oh, this is gonna hurt. There's the culprit. Timpani holds up the dart.
I've never seen anything like this.
Hira examines the make.
Farah helps her.
Hira, roll an investigation check with advantage thanks to Farah's helpful eye.
15.
The dart does not look like anything you have seen made by mortal man. Make an Arcana check.
7.
You cannot tell how this dart was forged, nor what the material is.
Hira, should I give it a look?
Hira tosses it to Frog.
Frog catches it in her left palm, the identifying palm.
An illusory projection emits forward, Aeorian text forming in the air, and it seems to outline the schematics for a very simple dart. The interesting part of this is the material. It is made of pure, condensed fungus, hardened with a calcified exterior.
It looks like this dart is fungal in nature.
That would explain the icky feeling I get when it was stuck in my butt.
And maybe that explains the poisonous effect it's had on us.
Spores!
Okay, Hira expertly noticed that Farah took a fall. maybe we should use your rope idea. Tie maybe one or two of us up, and someone out here keep a hold of us, and we go in.
Before we do any of that, let me top you guys off.
Oh, yes, please.
Timpani casts Mass Cure Wounds on the group at 5th level.
Everyone regains 11 hit points.
I'll just keep healing you up and we'll try again, I guess.
Okay, so who's gonna go in? I don't mind going in.
Yeah, we can maybe go together, just the two of us.
Farah thinks about it and realizes Kira might not remember the conversation they have in the cave.
All right, let's go.
I have to insist that I come along, just in case. I'm a lot older than you guys and I might be bumbly, but I'm hardy.
Fair.
Norbert has the muscles, and I've got the metal, so we can sit back here and hold on real tight.
And take care of any fissures that come along to disrupt us as well.
Absolutely.
Timpani takes out 2 50-foot lengths of hempen rope and ties them together at the end before tying one end to his own belly.
Farah unties the rope from the piton, adds it to the end of the rope, giving it an extra 50 feet, and ties herself to it as well.
Kira ties the rope around her waist and tosses the remaining length back to Frog.
Frog catches it and wraps it around her arm, getting a good grip on it.
Norbert pulls out another 50 feet of hempen rope from his backpack and ties to the end of that rope as well.
A 200-foot rope binds Hira, Farah, and Timpani together, held in place by Norbert and Frog, who remain outside.
Timpani leads the way into the cave as the frontmost end of the rope.
Time to die. Farah walks in.
Here we go.
The three of them disappear into the mist.
And now for a brief intermission.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. Friends, it's hard to believe it, but the holidays are upon us. Make your gift shopping less stressful with their expansive inventory of absolutely one-of-a-kind items. Much like a good adventuring party, the people at Uncommon Goods scour the globe for original, handmade, and absolutely remarkable treasures. As a fun gift for my wedding anniversary this year, I went on Uncommon Goods and I got my wife a retro reel viewer with pictures of our wedding in it. It was so fun getting to both relive our wedding and our nostalgic 90s memories with such a cool and unique piece. It's the kind of thing you can only find on uncommongoods.com. When you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. Small batch and bespoke just for you. And here's the best part. With every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So what are you waiting for? To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/reslayers. That's uncommongoods.com/reslayers for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
With the planning, recording, and editing that go into the Reslayers Take, Nick and I aren't left with a lot of time for exercise.
Luckily, our sponsor, Tonal, has helped us use the time we actually have to create personalized workouts just for us. Tonal learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move, and they even give you detailed reports on your progress.
They create personalized programs and workout suggestions based on your individual goals. Like me, I want the rogue-like agility to backflip over dungeon traps.
And I want the berserker strength to hold a heavy door up for my friends so they can escape the undead hordes thanks to my heroic sacrifice. With Tonal, you can do it all. It's like having a personal trainer at home with you.
Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques.
Whether you're a professional athlete or a cake-loving dungeon master like us, Tonal can be trusted to help you become your strongest, most fit self.
Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code RESLAYER. That's Tonal.com and use promo code RESLAYER for $200 off your purchase.
Tonal.com, promo code RESLAYER for $200 off.
Let's roll those athletics checks.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity.
Shopify's point-of-sale system is a unified command center for your retail business. It brings together in-store and online operations even across 1,000 locations.
Imagine being able to guarantee that shopping is always convenient. Endless aisle, ship to customer, buy online, pick up in stores, all made simpler so customers can shop how and where they want and staff have the tools they need to close the sale every time.
And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep existing shoppers coming back to your stores with consistent, tailored experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge.
Want more?
Yeah!
Check it out at shopify.com/r/ all lowercase and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity.
That's shopify.com/r/.
Cha-ching!
Now back to the show.
Timpani, Farah, Hira, make Constitution saving throws.
18.
Nat 20.
9.
Frog, Norbert, you see the rope slowly begin to unspool as they clearly move further and further into the cave.
Oh, it's working, Norbert.
Yes, we are making progress.
Timpani, Farah, Hira, make an athletics or acrobatics check with advantage.
Nat 20.
21.
26.
The rope suddenly unspools very, very quickly, but then slows down, unalarmingly.
Whoa!
Oh, that was so fast.
Farah, Hira, and Timpani make a dexterity saving throw.
Nat 20.
10.
15.
And now make a charisma saving throw with disadvantage.
Dirty 20.
17.
2.
The rope suddenly stops, pulled just about as taut as it can be. There is a beat. Another beat.
Frog tightens her grip.
What's happening?
Should we pull them in?
And all of a sudden, there is a pop behind you, and you see Hira appear, suddenly standing behind you, eyes closed, wavering a bit. Farah, make an athletics check.
9.
Make a charisma saving throw.
14.
A few seconds pass as you run up to Hira behind you, and all of a sudden, Farah appears at her side.
Whoa!
Farah and Hira seemingly have come out of the rope, which falls slack in your hands. You are able to easily re-spool it back out of the cave. Timpani never reappears. However, you appear relatively unscathed. Farah has taken 4 poison damage, bringing Farah down to 37 points of health. Farah, your eyes open suddenly.
How long was that?
Oh, not very long at all. How did you get behind us?
Magic.
Wait, wasn't Timpani tied onto this too?
Well, if we're out here, then did Timpani come out before us?
No, we haven't seen him.
Norbert, Frog, both of you make Arcana checks.
14.
13.
You recognize that Farah and Hira have been teleported out of the cave somehow, though you do not know how such a thing could be possible.
It's like they were popped back over to us right out of the rope.
Some sort of teleportation. Did you take the rope off?
All I remember is Farah saying we were going to die and us walking in.
Farah, make an investigation check with advantage.
15.
At a bit of a loss, you stare at your body, checking for any signs of damage. And something catches your eye. You look down at your forearm. There is ink on it, and something has written, "The door."
Farah tries to see if she recognizes the handwriting.
It is almost certainly yours. You check your pack, and a little bottle of ink is open. Farah, roll a history check with disadvantage.
12.
Your memory is incredibly foggy, but as you concentrate extremely hard, almost like looking at pencil writing that has been thoroughly erased, though you can still see the impression slightly in the paper of your mind, you feel as though you remember a tremendous stone door with a terrifying face, the eyes gleaming.
Farah concentrates on the eyes, thinking about whether or not she's seen them before.
Roll a history check with advantage.
19.
Only once. When the Timberblight was commandeering the skeletal body of the Illithid skeleton in the Hug Hive.
There was a door in there, and carved on it was the Timberblight.
Not the Timberblight. What's the Timberblight?
He's a corrupted druid that hates us for some reason. Probably because we've ruined his plans a couple times.
Oh no, for a party or?
For total dominance over everything and all nature.
Oh, well, good thing you stopped that.
We tried. But it seems like he's back.
Farah, you feel an aching in your arms, as if they are slightly sore. Almost as if you had tried to lift something far too heavy for you.
Well, there's something in there that I was trying to move or get out with. I don't know. Something heavy.
You said a troll used to live here.
Yes, Ugel the troll. They would come down and terrorize the village.
And was this his home?
As much as a troll could have a home.
A home? Or...
And Frog rifles through the monster tome once more, finding the entry.
One heck of a den. The Slayer's Take could have maybe found this door, but couldn't get past it.
It also said to return ? Right?
It said, yeah, to return to take a better look at it.
Hira shuffles nervously from one boot to the other. I think we need to be careful. I'm starting to feel that maybe what happened to your friends is because they did this too many times and they became disoriented. They lost track of what was real and what was an illusion.
Where did your paladins show up when they exited the cave?
They came wandering back into the village, as if their minds were wiped. We had to come and collect them.
Hira puts her fingers to her earpiece and asks nervously, Timpani?
Oh my god, Hira, is that you? You've got it!
I think Timpani made it through the door. Mr. Klott.
Yeah.
This woman you were taking care of, she's talking about a barrack. Did you ever have a barracks in this town?
Yeah, they would work as like an army, like a town guard. And they would have a barracks where they would train people, but this was some time ago.
And I'm sure the paladins were so popular they were always giving out autographs.
Oh, yeah. People would come and hear the stories of their adventures weekly. Every morning we would have a bowl of breakfast and listen to their journeys.
So, whatever happened to them made them think of their glory days.
Perhaps that's all is left in their minds.
Wild pitch. I run as fast as possible to the door. See what happens.
Also, perhaps it is a visual thing, right? You remember seeing the eyes, so maybe if you don't look, you won't be affected?
Yeah, I'll try that.
There's also something with these spores and this dart.
And he pulls out the fungal dart.
They all seem to be connected to fungus or mushrooms.
I think there might be some kind of gauntlet. You know, a series of trials. And if you fail, then a dart hits you or you take a tumble and you hurt yourself.
Did you notice anything in the patterns of the rope? Like, were we moving at a consistent speed the whole time?
No. Actually, there was, it was normally moving, and then there was a quick release of rope, as if you had fallen.
Yeah, that's probably that's what I was, okay, yeah, the fall.
We would often train heroes with these type of gauntlets. It was in order to make someone stronger, to overcome these obstacles.
And didn't you say, once the heroes combine their knives and combine their powers?
The daggers, but yes.
I'm so sorry, the daggers. Once they combined their daggers, they became even more powerful.
Yeah, I haven't been able to figure it out, but apparently when you use all 5 of the daggers, it unleashes a great power.
Has anyone besides the paladins ever wielded the daggers together?
Oh yeah, they've been passed down in their family for generations.
Would you be willing to let Frog examine one of the daggers, right? Not knife, daggers.
Depends which one.
Norbert looks over his collection of little daggers.
Any one of the colorful binded daggers should work.
Well, all right. This one time.
Norbert will pull out the dagger that has the pink handle on it and hands it over.
Oh, I love that color.
Frog grabs it with her left hand.
An illusory image of the dagger is projected into the air. These are +1 magical weapons that also grant all of the wielders of the daggers a +1d4 to all attacks and saving throws. Additionally, there is some very complicated Aeorian text that describes some kind of special finishing move. When all of their powers are combined into an express pose, an explosive quality is unleashed.
Mr. Klott. Sir.
Yeah.
Klott.
Ooh, thank you.
You're welcome. I think it might behoove us to each handle carefully one of the daggers.
You think that they will help us now?
Yes, it seems like they might grant us some help in this unseeable trial ahead of us.
Very well. Would you like to hold on to this one?
Yes, please.
The pink dagger of wind, wielded by Toby.
Toby sounds amazing.
Oh, you met him. He was the one that was under the blanket.
Oh, a noble hero.
And the green dagger, Finn's dagger, one of the force of nature. Here you are.
Hera takes it happily and jokingly poses with it like it's a flute.
Roll a performance check.
18.
A green aura envelops Hera and maintains constantly.
Oh, you can activate it.
Seeing Hera covered in this magical aura, Frog spins it deftly between her fingers.
Roll a performance check, Frog.
Natural 1.
There is a pink aura that flares around Frog and then extinguishes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Klott.
It's okay, you can try again later.
Hera strides over, her rapier lit up, and walks around Frog, pushing her feet into position with her blade. No, see, your posture's all wrong. You want to pretend there is a thread going from the top of your head up, shoulders back, like you're proud of yourself, you know?
Like this?
Frog, make another performance check with advantage.
14.
This time, the pink aura does spring to life. It is not quite as radiant as Hera's, but it does maintain consistently.
Whoa! Hera, you're amazing, thank you!
It's working. Oh, here, quickly.
And Norbert hands over the yellow dagger to Farah.
And this is the dagger of lightning, wielded by Annika.
Farah takes the dagger and strikes a pose like she's about to stab someone.
Roll a performance check.
15.
A yellow aura springs up around Farah.
We have these 2 daggers left. I tried to use all 5 before and it didn't work by myself. I think we need to pick one. Poor Timpani, of course, could have wielded the blue dagger, but they're no longer here. I suppose it is my moment to take the red dagger of the leader, Zora, of fire.
And Norbert strikes a pose.
Norbert, roll a performance check. And because of your extreme familiarity with the pose required, roll with advantage.
24.
A massively bright red aura springs up around Norbert. Norbert, you feel a sense of accomplishment rush through your body.
I feel the power!
The 4 glowing heroes stand at the cave's mouth.
Let's go get Timpani.
Farah turns to her team. My offer to go in alone and just run for it still stands.
Hera ties a blindfold over her eyes and says, "You said that these mega magic paladins, their power came from them working together?
Yeah.
We should go together."
All right, everyone ready?
Ready!
I'm ready for anything.
Farah turns her boots to the light setting, closes her eyes, and sprints in.
Norbert runs in after as well, emboldened by this new energy, slicing the dagger in front of him to try to cut the spores in the gas.
Hira takes a different approach and very cautiously enters the cave.
With the pink dagger securely in her right hand, her eyes closed, and her left identifying palm forward, Frog rushes in.
Everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 1.
22.
28.
22.
Now, everyone make an athletics or an acrobatics check with advantage.
Dirty 20.
21.
27.
21.
Everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
9.
Dirty 20.
17.
22.
And now everyone, with their eyes firmly shut, make an athletics check.
12.
Dirty 20.
19.
A natural 20 for a total of 30.
Boom! Darkness. All is quiet. You find yourselves in a semi-spherical chamber. Very small, with a dark tunnel leading out ahead of you. At the far end of this 100-foot tunnel, there appears to be a gently glowing purple door. Dust is still poofing from the ground as the gigantic portcullis door, which closes from ceiling to floor, settles. Everyone make an Arcana check.
18.
7.
16.
10.
Frog, there are many intricate patterns on the door that just closed. It strikes you that this door may be identifiable.
With interest, Frog reaches her left palm out towards the door and touches it.
There is no illusory copy that appears, but Aeorian text begins to float in front of your eyes, detailing a teleportation trap dependent on eye contact.
Sir Klott, you were so right to have us close our eyes.
I still haven't opened mine. What am I right about?
Oh, maybe you can open them now, but there was a trap set up. It would have booped us away if we had our eyes open.
Oh no, I hate to be booped.
As you all look at each other, you realize you have sustained some light damage. Norbert has taken 2 points of damage, Frog a single point of damage, Hira also just 2 points of damage, but Farah has taken 16 points of damage. Farah is brought to 21 points of health, Hira to 43, Norbert to 63, and Frog to 55. Turning back to the far end of the hallway, you see there is a little mound of mud about halfway down that appears shapeless from this far away.
Hira, fearing that it is timpani-shaped, rushes forward.
As you sprint forward, Hira, getting closer and closer to the mound of mud, you see that the front of it is a perfectly molded sculpture about a foot tall of Timpani's torso, with a hand pointing towards the far door and a terrified face. Next to the sculpture, there is something written in the dirt. "Please help me, love Timpani," with an arrow pointed towards the door. This is the result of a mold earth spell, a warning left behind from Timpani.
Hira, quick but quiet like a shadow, rapidly moves in the direction that the small figure is pointing and says to the rest of the party as she does so, "Quickly, he's still alive."
As the Reslayers and Norbert sprint towards the far end of the door, you find it just slightly ajar, and the yellow smoke is beginning to gather up in the ceiling just outside the room, though it does not continue further down the hallway you are approaching from. The smoke seems to be disappearing in small porous holes in the mountain, like vents funneling it outside.
Farah holds her team back for a second and checks the door for traps.
Roll an investigation check.
16.
No traps detected.
Farah gives her team a thumbs up and beckons them.
Hira slinks through the door, confident that if there were any traps, Timpani surely triggered all of them.
You move forward into a massive semi-spherical chamber with a domed ceiling that twinkles with iridescent necrotic particles, like an ominous sky full of stars. The walls are shiny and reflective, and you see yourselves reflected all along the room, especially because of the colored light exuding from your bodies. At the far end of this room is a massive, open white portal, wavering with energy. Looking just like the portal that the reflection aboleth crawled out of in the underground sea cave at Shoreside Isle. Bellowing out of the portal is a yellow gaseous poison, but it doesn't fill this chamber. Like in the hallway, it seems to disappear into the small cracks in the dome's ceiling, supposedly traveling into the memory-blocking cave and out of the mountain itself to add to the putrid cloud layer. And most obviously of all, pitched on its side, off in the corner of the room, is a 15-foot-tall skeleton of a long-deceased troll.
Oogle. Farah focuses her energy into her crossbow. It sheds a bright light of 20 feet, and she takes 4 points of damage,
bringing you to 17 points of health. Farah's veins glow as she siphons her energy into her weapon. And as this light illuminates the chamber, suddenly, Timpani explodes out from beyond the portal, covered head to toe in spores, with a wild look in his eyes.
Troll! It's a troll! There's a troll!
And from behind Timpani, also coming out of the portal, a massive belch of yellow spores poof into the air above him, but bypass him, separating into several swirling condensed balls of yellow spores. As they move around the ceiling, they come to rest on the troll's skeleton, filling out the body. The empty eye sockets of the skull suddenly glow a dark red, and then, with a floaty but deliberate movement, the spores lift off the skeleton, leaving it behind, but with those glowing red eyes still traveling with the cloudy amalgamation. This sporous monster maintains the general shape of a troll and walks with its lumbering gait, but with none of the weight or impact. It leaves a stinking residue behind as it moves.
Slayer's Take is a Metapigeon production in partnership with and distributed by Critical Role Productions, developed in association with Hero Club. Game mastered and produced by George Primavera and Nick Williams. Featuring Nick Williams as Timpani Guff, George Primavera as Poogs, Jasmine Bhullar as Hira Agniheart, Jasmine Chiong as Farah, and Caroline Lux as Frog. With special guest Xander Jeanneret as Norbert Klott. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, well, good thing you stopped that.
Well.
Go.